Laura, congratulations. You're this week's Spring Valley Girls Player of the Week, and your success not only on the court but academically is astonishing. Your coach said, we want to give her a little attention for what she does in the classroom. Out of over 500 juniors, you're ranked number 3 in the class. And just tell me a little bit about your commitment to academics and how you genuinely enjoy it, and kind of what goes into you doing as well as you do in the classroom, while you also stay very busy away from that, playing volleyball and a member of countless clubs around the school.
Yes, I dedicate all my time to time for volleyball is volleyball time, and then I go home and I do my homework, and I try to separate them as much as possible. So the 2 hours I spend at practice, I dedicate as much as I can to practice, and then I go home and I do my homework and do whatever I need to do for the next day. As far as clubs go, I mean, I'm in a good amount of them, but I try to balance it. It's all about scheduling and time management. I can't procrastinate, and I can't do any of that.
You have a GPA that is as close to perfect as it can be only one time, and you were telling me it was your freshman year. It was an English class, and the scale was 93 to 100, and you finished with a 92 point something, and yet you got the B+. Does that nag at you that one little, which most people would love to have that, I would have, but that a 92 point something has kept you from having a absolutely perfect slate?
I mean, I try to push myself as hard as I can. So yes, I use it kind of as motivation to work even harder, because it does bug me that that was the one that I got, but I always use it to strive to make sure that I can get the highest grade that I can in that class.
The thing that I think is so impressive when someone like yourself, which is very rare, but that you ace all of your classes, is it's kind of like having respect for an all-around basketball player or football player, where they don't just shoot it well, they do everything well. They rebound well, they defend well, and I guess there's a certain parallel with academics because every subject is so different. Tell me what kind of how school, and in your own words, do some subjects come easier to you, or how are you so excellent at all of them?
Well, I'm such a math person. I'm such a math geek so much, and I love the logical thinking of it. So math and science come really easy to me, just naturally. So English, history, not that much. So I try to focus more on math and science classes. So that would be what I would major in college anyway. So I try to do that more. So I just get better grades in them just because they come so easily.
Speaking of college, even though you're only a junior, so you still have some time, but what are some schools that, if things worked out just the way you would like, and I'm sure there's not a school in the country that would not accept you, but what do the schools say, just like I'd ask a potential big-time recruit, like give me 5 schools that would be at the top of your wish list?
If I stayed in-state, I would probably go to Clemson or USC just because they're really good in biology and engineering, both of them. And then out of state, I've been looking at Hawaii Pacific, which is for marine biology, and then there's one on the coast of California that's really good, and then there's one like in New Jersey, New York kind of area that does marine biology also. Okay,
and then you said you also have some interest in biomedical engineering.
Yes,
and
sir.
What are some schools that might get your attention for that?
Clemson is my main one for engineering.
Okay.
Just their program is amazing, and so is USC's. Theirs is really good too.
Okay.
But those would be the 2 main schools that I've primarily looked at. I mean,
what about the Ivy Leagues?
The Ivy Leagues, I haven't looked that much into that much. I still got 2 years.
Yeah, that's true.
So I've been looking mostly for marine biology, but I'm kind of leaning towards engineering now.
I think you're definitely not going to go wrong either way. Let me ask you about the volleyball team. I know that you were telling me on Saturday at the Wildcat Invitational you feel good about how you guys did. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, sir. We did very well in the beginning, and we played some really tough teams. They were really good. It got some good rallies going, and it made us work really hard. At the end, we kind of ran out of steam, but we finished second in silver, which I think is pretty good for our team.
Yeah. And everything going well. You feel like, as you guys are kind of now right in the middle of the region season, you feel good about how things are going?
We got some tough teams to play in the coming weeks, but I feel like we're up for the challenge, and we can do it, and we can come out with a win this season.
Well, they certainly not with no not being disrespectful to anybody else on the Spring Valley team, but I feel comfortable in saying the brains on the court for the Vikings volleyball team. Laura Stuart. Laura, keep up the great work, and 4.993 GPA weighted and 3.993 unweighted. Congrats on that great work, and keep up the good work on the volleyball court as well. And you are the CC's Pizza Spring Valley Girls Player of the Week.
Thank you.